series, but a series called The Office. It's been there for a while. And Shekhar, as all of you now know, he's an entertainer, he's a comedian, he's an author, so a lot more. So thanks a lot, Shekhar, for joining us. So why did you pick up The Office? I mean, is that something related to some connections where you watch something and this connected to what happened in your office, or over to you? Maybe you can go ahead and review this program.
Hi, Ravi. Thank you for these warm words. And I think the reason why I chose Office first up is because Office is all of us. Office is all the characters in Office are us at certain points of time in our lives. And I think that's one reason why Office is so relatable. And Office was released in the year 2005, and there have been many versions of the Office. They made the Office first. It was a English. It was made in UK. Then they made it in US. They made it in India. In India, when they made it, they screwed it up completely. They made a complete hogwash of it. So because the Office character played essentially the main character Michael Scott,
Mhm.
played by Steve Carell, is somebody which all of us are at certain points of time because he's offensive, he's funny, he's passionate, ambitious. He's a good team leader, he's a good manager, but does not know what are things he talks at certain points of time, which we all have done. So it's really funny. And more than him, I think all the characters are very interesting. They're like all the colors which I have in my shirt right now. Like you cannot call them black or white because it's not just gray, but I think colors of yellow, orange, all the colors of the rainbow, I would say. And each character is so interesting and so funny. It's the kind of TV show you could watch with your family. It's a
Mhm.
23-minute episode, so you can just have fun, watch it, and just live in the moment. I believe that's what makes Office so special.
Okay, when did you watch it? When was the duration? Is it during
I
pandemic or this was like?
So during the lockdown, so my wife has seen the entire seasons of Friends, and she's like, "You haven't seen Friends as yet." I said, "नहीं, जब आप Friends देख रहे थे, हम काम कर रहे थे." So I said, "Okay, lockdown के time हम Friends देखेंगे." तो पूरा Friends, I saw the entire thing back to back Friends, and I was like, "Okay, this is good." And because six characters in Friends, and it's funny and everything. I said, "What next?" So I thought, let me. When I was in US, we were staying in one of those motels near Niagara Falls, and on the TV there was a rerun of Office going on. I watched an episode and I liked it, and I came back to India. During this lockdown I thought, let's watch it. The first few episodes gets you warmed up because you need to understand the character, and usually in a show like this, either you like it or you hate it. It's like that, and once you warm up to the characters and the quirkiness of them, then you like it a lot. Now, once I started watching it, I was only one who was watching it because I quite liked it, and I started every day. I would watch one episode in the night, and I would start hating it when I used to come to the end of the show because I know that the show is going to end. Because you start relating to the character, you start liking the character, you laugh with the character, you smile with the character, you cry with the character, you relate to the ambitions, you relate to the passion, you relate to everything what the character is, and not just one character. I'm talking about multiple characters there, and the writing is so good in this. And I'm somewhere, because I'm a writer, I can relate to the writing so effectively because the writing it's funny and it's very quirky, and it doesn't have a laugh track.
Okay.
So usually most of these comedy shows have a laugh track, and how it works with the laugh track is ha 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 ho raha hai to
Hmm.
it makes you laugh, right? And somewhere I feel also it's artificial. Like Friends has it, or your Kapil Sharma show has it, or anybody. But in this, there's no laugh track. So when Michael Scott is actually cracking a joke, he's trying really hard to crack a joke, and sometimes your jokes just fall flat, right? You don't laugh at it. You're like, what a foolish joke, what an insensitive joke, what a stupid joke. But the situations are so funny that you are like laughing in your head. So that's what makes this Office so special because it's very relatable, and it's very somewhere you just connect because you worked in an office. It's a simple story of a company, of a paper publishing firm in some area in US called Scranton, and it's very interesting. The characters in it, they come to office every day, and what happens after that? Like people are playing pranks. There is one guy who's buttering up the boss. There is the boss who thinks no end of himself, and there's a boss who's buttering up his boss or her boss, which we all have done at certain points of time. And there are some who want to strike out and do something on their own, and the climate change happens and everything happens around it. So this entire, I think it's very very plot driven, and the fact is, even if you get into the sixth or seventh episode, you will not miss anything. So that's the most interesting part. It's not like you have to watch it from start to finish. Even if you get it from the sixth episode, you will like it because that's how the episodes are. So it's got a very fun flavor to it, and it's very interesting, and it's got some very interesting characters. As in each
So,
character, like I said, is like the colors of the rainbow.
so anything you could, any scene in this particular series where you could connect back, saying that यार ये मेरे ऑफिस में हुआ था.
अरे बहुत कुछ. The things like, you want to be, say for example, you want to be a manager, so you're very close to your manager. You want to understand what your manager's ambitions are, motives are. So you will do whatever it can be to get into his or her good books, which every manager would do. And then you have a character who plays pranks all the time. Like we have all played these kind of pranks. So somewhere you find yourself being a Jim at a certain point of time. You also find yourself becoming a Michael Scott at certain points of time. You also find yourself becoming an office receptionist at certain points of time. I've done all this and more because in my first job, when I joined work for a company, I was almost like a receptionist. As in, I used to go open the office and, I used to meet these various characters in the office. And each character was ek se badkar ek. So, it's ek se badkar ek. I was working for a financial firm and you get to indulge and meet in such characters. Each character had a certain flavor to it. So, I could relate to what Pam has gone through, what Jim has gone through. There's a guy called Dwight who's very, clear about, boss, mujhe manager banna hai, kuch bhi ho. And he's a crazy soul, crazy as in there's no left or right. He just goes straight ahead. He's not worried about what others think about him, which can be offensive, okay? Which may not be funny for a lot of people, but if people can see through that, they'll find it funny. So you've got characters like that. There is one character who's always solving crossword puzzles, even in the office meetings. So, various things like there are office meetings happening. We've all conducted office meetings where some of us just zone out, some of us just zone in, some of us indulge in it, some of us don't indulge in it. And how the manager conducts the office meetings where you're talking about targets and everything around it, and then you want to be a part of it, and then you become the manager. When you become the manager, you realize, oh my God, this is how I really was, right? I thought I was funny, but I was not really funny. So things like that. So it's great because you are able to live those characters in your own way. You're able to relate to those characters, and you find each character leaves a certain imprint in you in a certain form. Like if you read about it online, there are people who have written loads about Office, about how they've connected to the Office, and it's something which you can watch again and again. So it's not like something you watch nine seasons and say, oh, okay, it's over and done with. You
Hmm.
can actually watch it again, and you'll still feel fresh. And that's the power of the writing, and that's the power of the character.
So who should watch it? And since this is an old series, do you think that the youngsters now can still pick up, get this on streaming and watch it again?
Absolutely, everybody can watch it. And interestingly, this TV show is not affected by technology. You don't have the use of mobile phones or anything. It's just pure storytelling. It's pure plots. It's pure humor. That's about it, and it's characters. So if you're working in an office, if you're going to work in an office, you will find characters like this. You will find characters who are selfish. You will find characters who are ambitious. You will find characters who are just pure funny, right? Who just come and play pranks. That's all they do the entire day. You'll find characters like this. You'll find characters who just sleep in the office. You'll find characters who just rate the refrigerator. You will find characters who just like dancing. So everything is happening in this office. It's something which we all have done at a certain point of time in our life. So it just appeals to, because it's an office, we all have been to an office at certain points of time. So it appeals to, I think, an
Every.
entire demography, everybody, from somebody who's as young as 16 to somebody who's as old as 80, I feel, because laughter has no age limit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of these oldies, after 60s, 50s, they can look back as to what happened and, visualize some of the things which happened earlier.
Correct. And I have to tell you this, so Michael Scott was the reason why Office was so successful. So Michael Scott was played by this guy called Steve Carell.
Hmm.
Steve Carell has got this kind of deadpan sense of humor, which nobody could crack. So he's cracking a joke with a straight face, and he's offensive, he's funny, but afterwards you realize he's offensive and funny because that's the way he is. He likes to, he's an attention seeker, he wants to be popular with his team members, which we all have been. And you realize that after he got out of office, he could not be as successful as he was in office because office was like his Sholay, I would say. And he could not, I think it's a package of the writing, the direction, the star cast, the, the environment, everything really comes together. So it's properly like an office, right? There are some offices which you like to be in because you spend more time with your office colleagues than with your family, right? When we all are there, and sometimes you spend more time, your office breaks, your smoke breaks, your water cooler breaks. And then, so, this is just I think this is just an example of that. Office is just a reflection of what we are when we are in the office. And there are good things, there are bad things, but it's all fun at the end of the day. It's all good fun.
So apart from fun and it being a comedy series, what are the key takeaways for somebody? Some of these episodes also have some learnings infused. So what are the possible learnings that a viewer takes back after watching this?
See, I think one thing is nobody is right or wrong in this, right? Nobody is trying to be righteous in this. Nobody's trying to be all wrong in this. Everybody's got shades of gray, and everybody has got certain strengths and certain weaknesses. And you need to accept people for what they are. And that's what Office actually tells us. Don't judge anyone. Like you've got a whole range of characters in this, and each character's so different and so indifferent to each other. But still they are hanging around in the office and nobody's left the job per se, even after 9 seasons. So that makes for a very interesting viewing. The second thing is it's a mockumentary. When I'm saying it's a mockumentary, it actually mocks the entire documentary style of viewing. So the camera actually zooms into the character. You can see each expression of the character, right? So it actually the joke is on the viewer and the joke is on the character. And so the entire environment or the entire viewing experience is done in such a fun manner. You really don't take it very seriously, but at the end of the day you realize that each character is ambitious, each character is passionate about what they want. There's also a love track also in this entire series, which is very sweet and very warm and very nice. And they capture the various festivals, the various things we do in an office. So somewhere the biggest learning here is don't judge anyone for what they are, because nobody's perfect, right? And this entire, because if you compare it to something like a Friends, you got 6 characters and all 6 characters are like everything is going perfect in their lives. Here nothing is going perfect, because that's what we are, right? And we're just making sure we are the best versions of ourselves every second day. So that's what the office is all about. Office is just showing you a mirror of what you are, which may not be perfect, and that's the fun part of it, I
Okay.
feel.
एक हटके question. Okay, if you have to direct The Office again and you're the director, you get a chance to pick up whatever characters you want from the celebrities existing. Whom will you pick up for which role?
So I would not change anybody, because I think each one is perfect for the role. First up, I would want Michael Scott in, because he is the soul of Office. Without him, Office will not exist. Because there were 9 seasons of Office. He left the Office in the seventh episode, in the seventh series, and the last 2 series actually tapered down a bit. But I think Michael Scott is a soul, because he's the one who creates the situations. He's the one who's the epicenter of all the fun, all the humor, however offensive or inoffensive, however good it is or however warm it is. So he creates an entire environment. That's one character I would really want, because, and I think each character, when you look back, is so special that you wouldn't want to replace anybody. If there's anything I could add, I would want to add a dog to the star cast, because
Okay.
a dog could be there, because we're talking about 2020, right? Why not have a dog in this
In The
very
Office.
interesting office environment, so that everybody could just look at the dog and have fun with the dog and just pet the dog and just talk to the dog? How about a conversation of Michael Scott with the dog? That will be fun.
Super. So overall, what would be your rating? What would be your review for this particular series?
10 on 10, easily 10 on 10. As in, for me, it's more of an experience, right? When you watch shows like this, when you watch movies, or when it's an experience for you. You want to know the character more. You want to know what makes that character tick. You want to know what makes that character laugh. You want to know what's that person's ambitions. What is this person's aspirations? What's his motivation? What's his backstory? What's her backstory? And why do they fall in love? Why do they have a crush? There's so many things. So for me, I think the entire experience was, I never felt like I was watching, you're talking about 9 shows, 200 episodes. 200 episodes never felt like, it's really got onto you. You're looking forward to each and every episode, because it's so fresh and it's funny and it's warm and it's nice and it's almost like a Christmas cake during Christmas, I would say, because it gives you the nice, warm, festive feeling. And the best part is you're just laughing in your heart, in your mind, and laughing your guts out, because it's funny. And I like things which are funny and which don't take themselves too seriously. So that's what life is, right? You don't need to, everything does not need to have a mission. It's just about just going with the flow, enjoying the moment. And I think that's what 2020 has taught us, I feel.
So what does Shekhar like to view when you're in front of your TV? You have the remote in front of you. You have all these streaming channels. What does Shekhar look for?
So Shekhar looks for entertainment. Shekhar looks for something as funny as an Office. Shekhar also looks for something as interesting as the movie Seven. I like to watch it again and again. It's a movie which had Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and the third guy was I'm forgetting his name now. He's a very good actor. But the entire plot of Seven is so interesting. You want to watch it again and again because it is directed by David Finch, and I think David Finch is a very interesting director. He's making this. He's made this series called Mindhunters, which is there on Amazon Prime. But more than anything else, I like to watch. I like to watch something which is entertaining, something which I can pick up something from it, of course, something which is funny, and something which you really don't need to think so much about. But then, it depends on your mood at that point of time, like, what you don't like. I might like watching a debate also, where I'm a part of it with Arnab Goswami. But but then, jokes apart, I think it's fun. I just like watching anything which suits my moment, my mood at that point of time. And more often than not, it's a good mood. So something funny, something inspirational, and something which is just uh, which is just entertaining is what I like.
Super. Thank you, Shekhar. Thanks a lot for joining in and reviewing this particular awesome series, The Office. It's still in my bucket list. Even I have to watch it. I've not watched it, but yeah, some of these reviews really motivate me to add
Tell
this
me
and
who's
watch it.
your favorite, because I'm sure you would like it, and I would love to know who's your favorite character from The Office, because you
Sure.
cannot have everybody's good in their roles. I think it's fun.
Sure. So thanks a lot, friends, for watching this. And if you have a series or a short film of yours that has to be reviewed by Shekhar or by us, do get in touch with us, and we will review it. Based on the trailer or based on the short film. So do get in touch with us if you have such requirements. Thank you,
And,
Shekhar.
and just what
Uh-huh.
we said, if you have got a short film, the review will be just like this shirt. It'll be colorful. It'll be passionate. It'll strike a chord somewhere in everybody's heart. So reach out to Ravi as quickly as possible and let him know that you have a short film which is up for grabs
Sure.
and for review.
Thank you. Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you, friends. Have a great day.